In this video, I'm going to show you a couple of ways we can add sub to samples, giving them loads of extra impact. Both of these tools I use are third party. There is a built-in option in Logic. These third party tools just do a much better job. So that's why I'm using them. First off, we're going to take this track here that says the word sub, and it is this. This is just big, weighty sub line. All right, and it lays up with this here. And there's loads of space in the middle for the drums. Well, that's why it's mixed like that. Now, this bass line is made from this soul chop sample here. Alright, and the way I did it is quite simple. You can see the EQ on here is a vicious roll off, leaving just these bottom notes here. And the reason for that, those bottom notes are generated by this guy here. It's called Submarine. What this does is it takes an input and then based on that frequency input, it outputs lower frequencies. So it organically generates the lower harmonics that weren't already there. And you can do it 1 octave or 2 octaves below what you've currently got. I've used 1 octave below here. And then the filter range here, this is what it's listening to. And then my EQ is just outputting that effectively, right? And I can have it so it just does that kind of output and it's 100% wet mixed as well, but the EQ way I did it worked out better. So let's have a little listen to what's actually going on. Let's turn off Submarine, turn off the EQ, and turn off the compression. So right off the bat, it's this. See, told you it was the same sample. Let's bring Submarine in, and now it's this. Same thing, but it's massively enhanced the bass, right? And that works because I've got sub 1, so -1 octave, that's pumped all the way up to 12. I had to crank it all the way up. And I've got the drive up here pushing it a bit more. If we take that down to 0 and take the drive down to 0, listen. It's adding bass, but not as much as we want. So bump, and then driving and distorting it a little bit like that. And yeah, it's clipping on the output. I don't care, it sounds right. Now we can have a wet dry mix. If I do dry, it's just the original. If I do 100% wet, it's just the subs that's being generated, right? Now I could do that and save the EQing process. But when I did that and I still got some of those other undertones in and I just EQ'd it out with this vicious low pass, I got a better result. Alright, for whatever reason, and that worked better with the original sample than just using 100% wet. You can do whatever works best for you. You could go 100% wet, not have that, and then throw the sample in too. To me, now they just sound too detached, right? But if I do a bit of a mix and EQ it, they sound like they're part of the same thing now, right? So that's how I got the bass line in this track to sound like it does. Here it is. Take it away. Oh, that's completely gone, right? Back. So that's where the sub comes from in that track, and that sub cuts through on every sound system. It is perfectly good, and it's basically made by Submarine, right? And then that EQ being vicious. Now the other thing that I did on this particular track is the kick. Just a quick word from the channel sponsor, which is DistroKid. They distribute your music out to all of the major streaming platforms, and they do that at a price an independent artist can easily afford. If you'd like a discount off your first year of unlimited distribution, check the description below for a discount today. We've got a sampled break, and we've got another kick layer here. Right, so they bounce off of each other. There are 3 instances of R bass basically making up those kicks, and I'll show you what I mean. If I take them all off, now listen. There. Back in. What our bass does, it generates one single harmonic at a set frequency. So if I open up this one, and this one. Okay, so we've got the first kick that's got 2 on, and then that one on the right is labeled kick 2. Right, and they're all generating those harmonics, and they're at 123 Hz and 61 Hz respectively, and that's based on the key of the track. So these harmonics are tuned to the key of the track, so they all sit really well. But let's take the whole drums, for example. Where are we? Now let's take the R basses out of this. It's an okay kick, it's there. And hear how much difference that makes, having those tuned low end frequencies. Now these are sidechained into my sublines so that when those play, these kicks pull that sub away. So they're never fighting for each other, but they've always got that big low end weight and presence. Then everything in together. I hope this video has been massively helpful for you and given you an idea of how you can put some sub bass into your samples, giving loads of extra weight to your tracks. If this video has been helpful for you, please consider subscribing to the channel. I put videos out like this every single week. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.